So is Indian cricket now mired in a pitch controversy? Are India and the BCCI and the Indian coaching and management staff players guilty of doctoring pitches? Joining me now, Sunil Gavaskar, the legend of the game, joins me. The big controversy now, Sunil Gavaskar, is getting worse. ICC's match referee has docked India and the Indore venue 3 demerit points for a substandard pitch. Was this pitch really substandard and unfit for cricket according to you?
It was a tough pitch to bat on, no question about it, because you can see from the scores that it was not an easy pitch to bat on. But I think 3 demerit points to my mind is a little too harsh. A little too harsh for the simple reason that if it was such a tough pitch to bat on, then you would not have had a 96-run partnership between Usman Khwaja and Marnus Labuschagne when Australia batted. You would not have had on day 3 a partnership of 77, which took Australia to a win, if the pitch was such an impossible one to bat on. And also, yesterday, there was that partnership between Cheteshwar Pujara when he batted, and he showed that it is not an impossible pitch to bat on. Tough pitch, definitely, no question about it. It was a pitch where there was turn from the first day. But that's what you expect in India, that's what you expect in the subcontinent. So, to my mind, 3 demerit points is too many. And in fact, I think earlier on also, I did ask, because I'm not having the exact information, that when the test match was played in November, December at the Gabba between Australia and South Africa, which also finished in 2 days, where the ball was flying around, and the fast bowlers looked very dangerous, that they could have caused some serious injury. There was a threat to life and limb on that pitch. I don't know how many demerit points it got. I don't know who the match referee was. But I think there has to be some sort of a parity of demerit points are given. Or there has to be, somewhere down the line, some sort of, instructions that these are the reasons that, you're giving 3 demerit points.
There were no demerit points given to the Brisbane ground at the time. But the fact, Mr. Gavaskar, is that in the last 3 test matches in India, all matches have got over inside 3 days. Is there something wrong with the batting, or is there something seriously wrong with the way pitches are being prepared in this country?
Look, I think the larger objective has been, and that's what I think the Indian captain did say in the media conference today. The larger objective has been to try and see that India win 3 out of the 4 test matches, at least 3 out of the 4 test matches, because that will then help them to qualify for the finals of the World Test Championship. And with that as the larger objective and aim, the pitches have been made in a manner that will suit the Indian spinners more than the batters. So the batters will probably not enjoy. Their reputations will take a little bit of a beating. Rohit Sharma scored an absolutely terrific 100 in Nagpur when he got 120. But those 2 pitches were not as difficult to bat on as this one in Indore, because here in Indore the ball was turning pretty sharply from the 6th or the 7th over itself. So that is never easy to bat against.
But you see, the question I'm asking, Mr. Gavaskar, is that in the process we seem to have dug our own grave, at least in Indore. And do we really need, therefore, to prepare these kind of wickets only to win? We've got surely a good enough test side to win without doctoring wickets. Do we need to prepare these rank turners to win a test match?
Because otherwise, to get 20 wickets in India is not going to be easy. On a lot of Indian pitches, then to get 20 wickets without your ace bowler, Jasprit Bumrah not being available, Mohammad Shami not being always able to complete a 4 test match series, and Mohammad Siraj slightly inexperienced. I don't think the bowling attack was such that, but for a little bit of help from the pitch, from a dry pitch, India probably wouldn't have taken 20 wickets, and that's the thinking behind preparing such pitches.
But Mr. Gavaskar, I'm sorry to press the point. Are we saying that to win a World Test Championship, surely you should be able to win in all conditions? Are we in some way doing disservice to the game, to the fans, in our own obsession of reaching this World Test Championship final? We are denying crowds decent 5-day cricket by preparing these terrible pitches.
No, I don't think so. I think you have to look. The World Test Championship final is the prestigious event. Look at what happened to New Zealand's cricket. New Zealand's cricket took, they had the disappointment of losing the 2019 World Cup final. Then when they beat India in the 2021 World Test Championship finals, I mean, there was, the whole mood of the country was uplifted, despite the fact that there was, COVID over there. I mean, COVID all over the world. So yes, I think if you're looking at India winning, India getting to the World Test Championship finals, I don't think you have too many other options. If you had a very, very good new ball attack, maybe you would have looked at doing something different. But your strength is your spinners in India, definitely. And therefore, I think these kind of pitches have been made. And I think test matches are producing results. So that's the thing. You don't want a flat pitch where the batters go out and dominate. Then there is no challenge. Here it is testing the batsman's temperament and technique, and it's tough. But like Rohit Sharma showed, you can get 100. Usman Khwaja showed you can, if you apply yourself, get some runs.
I want to ask you, though, a question that I've always, in a way, wanted to ask you, Mr. Gavaskar. Were players of your generation better players of spin? Or have the pitches simply just got worse over time and therefore it becomes more difficult to score runs today?
I think the thing was that today's spinners don't really give the ball too much air because they get help from the pitch, so they don't really need to give the ball too much air. And the spinners in the past did give the ball air, which meant that the batters had to use their feet to go down the pitch or go deep in the crease and play the cut shot or the pull shot. So yes, I think that actually meant that the batters were looking to go down. What has happened today is that because of so much of one-day cricket where you play through the line, played with hard hands, not too many batters, apart from Cheteshwar Pujara and occasionally Rohit Sharma, not too many batters go down the pitch. So that is probably the one sort of difference, if you could say, is noticeable.
Final question, who's the best player of spin you've ever seen, Mr. Gavaskar? You're welcome to include yourself as well. You played that magnificent innings in your last test at Bangalore in 1987 against Pakistan.
I think the best player of spin, there have been some very fine players, but I don't think anybody can beat the 281 that VVS Lakshman got on a pitch where the ball was turning at the Eden Gardens. And I don't think, I've seen some fine innings, but then in that 2004 test match in Mumbai, where India won by 13 runs, and that's what everybody was hoping today, that India might be able to defend something like that. That time they defended, I think, 110 or something like that.
That's right.
But VVS in that second innings, I got 59 or 61. Don't know the exact score. That was batting of unbelievable, the highest quality. It was terrific to watch him, play the spin against the turn, hitting the leg spinners through mid-wicket. It was championship batting. It was absolutely magical batting.
Okay, so I've got that out. VVS Lakshman, the best player of spin in a way that Mr. Gavaskar has ever seen. I would rate you, sir, along with Gundappa Vishwanath from the 1970s, just as high. And many of the spinners that I've spoken to from your generation rate you as the best player of spin. But I appreciate your joining us. Clearly, something needs to be done about cricket pitches in this country.